Hello and welcome back to the DoneDeal YouTube channel. I'm David OC and today we're going on a first drive of the all-new Mazda MX-30. It's been a car long awaited here in Ireland and around the world, and we're excited to explore it and see what it has to offer. At a first glance, it does look absolutely spectacular. Let's begin by talking facts and figures. So, starting prices for the MX-30 are at about €30,000. Now, naturally, just like any car, you can spec it up close to 40. However, it is worth mentioning that the MX-30 comes with a pretty decent basic spec. Now, this is an electric vehicle, which always spawns the question, what is the range? Well, Mazda have gone for a slightly different approach, and basically what they thought was smaller battery, which is a 35.5 kilowatt battery, will at that point cost less CO2 to produce, so then should actually be better for the environment in the long run. What is the point in having a massive battery if you're not using it? That's the approach Mazda have taken. So the range optimized in the city is 265 kilometers, which is pretty respectable if you ask me. Power-wise, it's got about 140 odd brake horsepower, which is similar to any kind of crossover SUV, and I think it definitely is more than enough. The styling for the MX-30, it is really nice. I'm a big fan of how it looks. I think it looks very subtle. Yes, it's an electric vehicle, but it's not shouting from the skies saying, I am electric, like some do. And in fact, it's even got a normal grille here, and all in all, looks rather kind of understated. And I think that's where Mazda sits on the market. They're actually very premium, but don't really look it to the naked eye, and that is one of my favorite things. Now let's take a look at the inside, because that is where things get very interesting. This is where it gets really interesting, because they've gone completely autonomous. There's no steering wheel. And I'm completely joking, this is a left-hand drive version in Ireland, because normally press events for this might be abroad. However, because of COVID-19, we're on the wrong side. So I'm going to do a quick flick and we'll be on the correct side. Magic. Now, we're on the correct side, there is a steering wheel, so let's talk about the overall feel. And as I said outside, it does feel very premium in here. And believe it or not, all of the materials used are kind of recyclable, vegan friendly. It's very impressive. And down here you'll notice this nice little bit of cork. I think this is a very nice touch, and it's a bit of a nod to where it all began for Mazda, as manufacturing cork was how it all started. Now this is a complete nod to the RX-8, one of Mazda's most popular cars, and I do think kids are going to absolutely adore this. Just hopping in there and closing the door like that. Now quickly, as this is a first drive, we're not going to talk too much about the space, but the ISOFIX points are really accessible there, which is going to be nice for mums and dads. The boot is very sizely, but let's go for a drive. Alright, so interestingly, to put it in gear, you pop it across and back down into drive. It's quite a nice solid feeling. As we pull off, naturally it's just complete silence as you cruise down the road. Now, they have actually inserted a small little oozing noise, I think is the right correct phrase. Maybe it's whining noise, I'm not sure, but there is a noise of the motor. Now it's superficial, but what it does is it makes you feel a little bit more engaged as you drive. Now it's front wheel drive, as I mentioned before. It's about 140 brake horsepower. However, it is 270 newton meters of torque. So when you put your foot down, it's pretty responsive. I mean, it's nothing like, let's say, a mini electric or a Tesla or a lot of other electric vehicles, but there is plenty of poke, and there's more than enough. More than you'll ever need is what I'd say. Now, where the Mazda really comes into play is the safety equipment, because it is littered with safety equipment. So obviously it has all your usual things like adaptive cruise control, lane assist, emergency braking, but they've gone one step further. So let's say, for example, you're driving along the motorway and you check your rear view mirror and you seem to be okay. You seem to have no one in your blind spot. You can hear it there beeping at me. However, you may have missed someone because that's why it's called the blind spot. It will not actually let you change lane. The lane assist will overdrive your steering and make sure that an accident isn't caused. It will also make sure, let's say you're driving along the left-hand side of the road and you want to pull into your gate on the right hand, and let's just say, for argument's sake, you don't see a car coming, it will apply the emergency braking to avoid an accident there. It's very, very impressive. Now, over speed bumps, it's nice and smooth. It really is the perfect car for driving around town. It is quite large, however, nowadays everyone's driving SUV-esque cars, so I don't think that'll be an issue whatsoever. Any drawbacks is always one to talk, and in a normal review we discuss 3 of our favourite and least favourite things, but we don't have time for that as this is a first drive and we're only spending about an hour in the car. So I will say the armrests are nice, however it would be nice if my left one, the driver's side, almost had somewhere in the middle. I find this is a little bit too high, this is a little bit too low, but I am nitpicking. Being honest, at a first impression, there's nothing really wrong with this car. It feels really nice, it feels premium, it is comfortable, and I can imagine easily galloping up 200 kilometers. The pun doesn't make sense, but I'm actually at Leopardstown racetrack. Well, there you have it. That is DoneDeal's first drive of the Mazda MX-30. So far, it's looking good. We're very impressed. The car is ready to order now, but it is set to hit the market here in Ireland in February or March of 2021. If you're interested in buying one, then hit the link up there and have a look at some of our trusted dealer network here in Ireland. But for now, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.